So
Yeah.
that's the point.
Yeah, a lot of good points, and it's actually interesting because I brought this up earlier. We had Meet Kevin, and people think it's big when like Ivan talks about it, but Meet Kevin is not just a crypto person. He is known throughout like the world. Like he's known by my friends who have nothing to do with crypto. He has over 2 million subs. He gets over 7,000 concurrent viewers on YouTube, which is insane. So he tweeted about the hex sticker. He posted the hex sticker. Then he posted a video of him talking about the hex sticker. And then he posted that he got the hex on Newsmax. And I do want to sort of put into perspective what you said, because there were a lot of people in the threads who are like, "Oh, you showed FTX and you did this and you did that. And what's wrong with you?" It's like, yeah, if you want to go down there, then like we're not talking to anyone ever, because that's just what they do. But there are different levels, right? Like, so you have like Meet Kevin was willing to have Richard Hart on, and he didn't have to do that. When he was very controversial, it was at the peak of the outrage marketing, which you could say if it was better or worse, whatever. He was willing just to have him on and not say Hex was a scam. And I think he was very fair, by the way. People were saying he was mean to him in his interview. That's not true at all. It was a very fair interview. He was very nice. And just him having him on and not saying you're a scammer, it's a scam, and being hostile in the way that a Tone Vase is already legitimizes him so much to the mainstream and does more than perhaps anybody even in this community can do. So I completely agree with what you said. What's your take on the Meet Kevin thing?
Some people know, some people don't. The reason that Meet Kevin had the stream with Richard was because of my efforts. So I had been DMing him for a while inside of Instagram and talking about Hex, and we had a thread going back and forth, and he was asking me, questions about how it functions and things like that in Instagram DM. Back when he was going to run for governor, like before he was going to run for governor of California, right? Before he turned his hair pink, right? So, so that thread took probably about a year to come to fruition. And if anywhere along the line I had, berated him for his ignorance or not paying attention, or I should have told you or told you so, or any of those kinds of things, then I don't think that the conversation with Richard would have happened. And then when the thread happened, it was because he was obviously seeking audience. And I think maybe it was immediately after the governor thing, because when he was running for governor and getting his political machine running and things like that, it kept getting stalled off. Like it was planned to have a stream with Richard before that. And then his political life is what became important. After the political decision-making had happened, then his pivot was to go back to his content and include cryptocurrency. And engaging Richard seemed probably like a good opportunity for him at that time. So then the stream happens, and people, like Kurkowski and RG3 and things like that know, the role to get that to happen. They praised it, because look, we're getting audience. We're getting through on the other side of this finance influencer, right? Graham Steph is next, and Andre Jick is next, and all these other kind of guys that were making a lot of content about it. And then, Kevin does what he does. He makes it, a selling point that he's more knowledgeable about the protocol or the founder or the community than we are, right? And he takes that other side of the road on the position of Richard Hart or Hex or whatever. And to a degree, I can say, okay, this didn't go so well. And then we made all kinds of posts and memes trolling Kevin in every stream that he made.
He said he doesn't like Hex after Richard Hart came on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Did he say it was a scam, or he said he just doesn't think it's legit?
Oh, there's all kinds of threads, and it was and again, it's kind of like sometimes it's not whether you're right or wrong. It's just whether you're pushed. Like if I'm pushed, I'm still going to fight. Like I'm going to fight no matter what. I'm not defending Kevin. I am saying that like our human emotion takes over, and it's like, I'm going to get that guy, or he's like, I'm going to get the Hexicans, or lump them all together, right? Like even BitBoy lumping me and trolling me or something recently. That's the same sort of thing. Like, he just gets a stereotype in your head about what is this personality type because they have a logo in their profile picture, right?
Yeah.
So it's just that assignment. And anyway, so this is an opportunity for synergy. I'm not saying that you should sign up for his course or learn everything about real estate from him or anything like that. But I'm saying he obviously has audience. And if you care most about winning a battle or a war of influence, the general isn't the priority. The people that the general impacts or influences is the priority. That's the difference, right? So I don't know. Same thing with Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff happened because conversations with me, another guy that was the host, he was the Australian host, arranged for the Peter Schiff thing. And then that was arranged to have the stream with Richard. And it was good timing. I thought it was really good timing because the documentary was still being filmed. And then it was, I had to reach out to Kurkowski and all the other producers for the film to see if we could get Patrick and the director to go to film this debate between Richard and Peter Schiff, right? Then Peter Schiff didn't want to have culpability in case it went off the rails on his brand or influence and impact. So he wanted to back out, right? So I'm just saying there's a political dance behind the scenes to get any of this content out there in the public realm. And it's the same thing with the Twitter spaces. Like, if you can get to be a speaker, terrific. But if you're not a speaker and you're a listener in those rooms and your Twitter profile looks professional and engaging and, finance and crypto and, passionate and all those things like that, then it's easier for me to highlight and edify your content to build your audience than it is to build mine. It's always better that you find other people that you can promote instead of promote yourself. There's a human psychology about edification. I value you because XYZ. This is the niche that you speak to well that I don't. It's always easier for me to promote someone else. That's why Richard's got audience as well. Richard has 300,000 people following him on Twitter. Why? Because we have edified him. He wouldn't have the reach without our edification, right? Now he's got some momentum and he's got maybe algorithm helping him as well. But that's my point. My point is, if you can find the good thing and highlight the good thing and then chastise the bad thing more in private, then it's more likely you're going to sway that person to your side of any decision-making than less likely. It's more likely instead of less likely. So just leadership stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. And let me just say, there are some people in here that are not too happy about the title of Meet Kevin's video with Richard Hart, confronting the founder of Hex Coin. Is it a scam? That's totally acceptable. First of all, for a Peter Schiff interview, he also wrote confronting. That's just his thing. He writes confront. Okay, it doesn't mean confronting. And you could tell from the interview that he wasn't being confrontational and hostile. He wasn't. That's just how he writes it. And everybody's wondering if it's a scam, especially at that time. That's what people wanted to know. So as a artist, as a content creator, that is the right title to pick, because that is what the demographic that he's catering to is curious about. So it was totally acceptable. Yeah. Was he interviewing him the way I would interview him? Obviously, myself or Gary would be a lot more amicable, but that's because we're coming from that ecosystem. So if you guys are if everyone's, and this is nothing against you, AC Tro 369, because you're a legend, but if you guys are just gonna hold it against them for the rest of their life that they did what every other influencer does, then it's not gonna be positive. I'll say that. Be a little bit empathetic, to their situation. They're not coming from where you're coming from. And I think the fact that they're willing to legitimize Richard Hart, when they don't have to, because they're really successful people that have already built a brand that will do well regardless. The fact that they're like, hey, I want to have him on, I want to hear what he has to say. That means a lot. It means a lot more for them to do that and kind of stick their neck out for the audience than it means for me to have Richard Hart on, because there's no risk in that. You know, I've built up and gotten to where I got to, promoting Hex. So obviously my audience is going to love it, and there's no risk there. But for someone who got there through real estate and through maybe crypto like Bitcoin and Ethereum, whose communities are hostile towards Hex, having Richard Hart on it means a lot, and you should appreciate that, and I appreciate it, and Mr. Funding Jim appreciates it, so you guys should appreciate it. That's the right approach to have, in my opinion. Guys, do you have any questions about how to approach the Pulse Chain launch, or do you have any questions about crypto security, anything like that? Go book a free one-on-one. Links in the description with me. Schedule it on your own time. You could schedule it on your own time, at a time that's most convenient for you, and it'll be fun. And also consider becoming a Patreon, get access to my trades, my Discord group, meetings every Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern time with the community, and discounts and many other great benefits, exclusive content, my trades, my portfolio, how I'm navigating the markets. Links in the description. Get in the Patreon. Go support my work if you can, or even if you cannot. And also follow me on Instagram at Furu Finance.